welcome back to the Six at Calcio podcast. Here I'll be joined by not only Danny and Francesco, but we're also going to be joined by a special guest. We'd like to welcome on big-time Juve supporter, football enthusiast, and social media influencer Amina Jakupi. Welcome on, Amina.
Hi.
Hey, well, we're happy to have you on. We've been planning this for, I believe, since the new year began, around there. And, we're excited to have you on. How about you guys? What's up, boys? You good?
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing good. Dan, obviously you're hyped after Napoli's performance against Spezia.
I don't know about hype, but I'm happy.
Danny's relieved to get through the trenches of Spezia. Juve was another breezeful walk through Spal.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into Juve Napoli in the Supercoppa from last week, so I'm sure Amina and Francesco, who's also a Juve fan, you guys will be excited to talk about that one.
Sure.
Just to start off here, we're glad to have you on, like I said. And before we get into all the Juve and Calcio talk, I'd like to ask you why you decided to get into the Calcio and football social media scene and how it all started.
Well, so how it all started was actually really funny. I made a football TikTok as a joke, as for fun. I never really took TikTok seriously. I had it for a couple years, never posted on it. I actually ended up posting a TikTok with a sound. I forgot which sound it was, but it actually blew up. And since then, I saw that that's kind of the content people like, and especially that I'm a girl, that brings a lot of followers and a lot of supporters, and it makes it more interesting to watch. So, so since then I've kind of just, made videos, and I've gotten more serious about it and more in depth about football. Before it was just really like generic ideas, but then I got into leagues and teams, and a lot of people started to relate to my content, and I think it inspired others. And so I just kept going from there.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing. TikTok really changed a lot of people's lives in a way. It came out of nowhere, and a lot of people have managed to make a path through TikTok, so that's great to hear. Was there ever like a set follower amount, like, oh, I hit 100 followers, like, wow, I'm really starting to blow up? Was there ever like a moment where you were like, oh, wow, I'm really starting to become big here in TikTok and social media?
Yeah. So after, so here in America, we have the Super Bowl. And I remember Shakira performed last year. And after that performance, I made a TikTok about it. And that gained a lot of recognition. And I actually gained thousands of followers from that one video. And as soon as I hit 10K, I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is actually getting like pretty serious. Like I never ever imagined gaining so many followers and getting recognized by people. And it's just I really don't know. At first I was like crazy. I mean, it was just crazy to me. And then from 10K it became 20K, and then from 20K it was 50K, and then 100K, and then 150K, and then from there on I just grew like incredibly. So it's been crazy.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Yeah, very well said. And we have to start off with last week's Supercoppa when we're getting to Calcio now. Juventus came away with a 2-0 victory over Napoli, and I'm sure you were over the moon as a Juve fan yourself. And after that big win, just give us a quick rundown of how you were feeling going into the match, during the match, and after the match.
Going into the match, I was a little nervous because I know that with Juventus, I think many fans can agree their mentality is just not always there. And it's always a surprise to what you're going to be seeing on the pitch from them. You never know what to expect. So I went into this game kind of just like, hey, let's see how things go. I really hope we win, but, I wasn't too sure. Like, I was not confident. But when Ronaldo scored and then I think Morata scored last minute. I think there was 5 minutes added. That kind of just secured my I don't really know how to put it. I was just really happy. Again, I wasn't too confident, but then I kind of gained confidence throughout the game, So, yeah.
Yeah, like Napoli, for me as a Napoli fan, I was very disappointed with the way we played, even. But well said, you guys played a really good game. You took it to us, so hopefully we can get the win on the next time we play in the week. on the no, not the week in the season. But since everyone knows that you're a massive Juve fan, those who follow you, as a Juve fan, you experienced a lot of success and amazing moments. What was the best moment or the most meaningful moment you experienced as a supporter?
Okay, I think this is gonna sound very I don't know. A lot of people like to assume that I support Juventus just because of Ronaldo, but I do have to say the most memorable moment for myself as a Juventus supporter is when Cristiano Ronaldo transferred to Juventus. It was really big for our club. No one really expected it, and I think it made a name, if that makes sense. I know that Juventus is a club in Italy, one of the biggest clubs in Italy, but for sure, having Ronaldo in our squad, I don't know. That was the most memorable moment for me. Of course, there are many more, but from what I can remember, I've been supporting him for a while, but that made me the happiest because I know how much he did at Real Madrid, how much he contributed to the team and the club, and he made a name for himself there and the club. So for him to come to our club made me really happy.
Yeah, very well said. I remember when I was on Twitter and the first leaks of Ronaldo coming to Juve, I wouldn't go to sleep those nights. I would always keep refreshing my Twitter feed saying, "Oh, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen?" And everyone kept doubting, saying, "Oh, Ronaldo's not leaving." And one day, it just finally snapped, and you see him on the airport ready to coming to Torino. So it was a very memorable moment. I mean, my personal favorite was probably this season's Barca game, just to show how weak mentality, like you said, Juventus has been, and you face one of Europe's giants team in the Champions League, and you just dismantle them 3-0 with you leave them with little room, especially with Messi playing. It was just that personally would be my favorite moment. Or Allegri's departure. That was probably the happiest I've ever been as a Juventus fan. But moving on, obviously the best player to ever play for Juventus right now, number 19, Leonardo Bonucci. His game winner against Torino was amazing, but obviously a lot of fans don't seem to like him. So I'm sure you could agree with me when I say with this team right now, we're a strong team, but we're not the strongest team. Obviously, Milan and Inter have made strides in the transfer market and the season so far. So if, in your opinion, if we could sign anyone in the January transfer window or the summer transfer window, who would you like seeing coming to Juventus?
I was thinking about this question. I'm really not sure. I can think of one player, Iličić. I think
really
if he were to, I know that he's not obviously, but if he were to come to Juventus, I feel like, I was talking to my friend about it too, because, and I don't know, I just think he'd be a really good fit here, but, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen his experience at Atalanta and what he brings to the table, especially in the big moments in the Champions League games, in the Serie A decisive games. You see how he really steps up to the plate. And his partnership with Papu Gomez was incredible. So imagine now instead of Papu Gomez, he has Dybala and Ronaldo. I think it'd be even better. My personal list for January would probably be Olivier Giroud. We need a backup striker. I think that would be him. But Iličić, if he came to Juve, I wouldn't be denying anything from him. I'd welcome him with open arms.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember something going. I think it was a while back where actually Juventus was interested in him. Right?
Yeah.
I think it was before.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I remember seeing something about that.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I was talking about him with my friend, and we were just yeah. So if that's one person, I feel like it'd be him. So. Yeah.
I feel like Juve need like a type of player like say Iličić or even the DePaul from Udinese too, someone that can create plays from the midfield, help out McKennie, because it seems like right now Juve's midfield's all over the place. Besides McKennie, you really see different combinations. So a player like Iličić, you were saying, or even DePaul can come in and fit that midfield system, fit Pirlo's tactics as well. And once Dybala comes back as well from the injury, if a player like that can come in, Juve suddenly look like a different side. Now we're just going to move on to a more league-wide perspective. This season, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that Milan have been surprising us. My Napoli hasn't been really consistent this whole year. fair to say that Juve, you guys can agree as Juve fans have been underperforming as well. Atalanta have been dropping big points against smaller teams. Inter is kind of what I expected to be up there, the top 2, top 3. And Roma, Enzo, are surprisingly top 3 this season after the first half of the season. This one's for all of you. Who's going to be the top 4 teams in the top 4 to end the season? Amina, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, you guys probably won't agree with me, but I'm just going to go in for it because you never know. So I have a list right here. Can I just read it off?
Yeah, go for it.
So I have Inter. Oh, sorry. I have Inter as first place, Juventus second place, Milan third place, and Atalanta fourth. So, yeah.
Yeah. For me, if I have to say, I would go with Inter winning the league, maybe, or Milan. I'm going to say Milan's going to win this league this year. Inter second, Juve third, and surprise pick, I'm going to go with Roma fourth.
Wow, I appreciate that, Dan. Roma.
I got faith once Zaniolo comes back that Roma are going to be a different side.
Yeah, when he comes back, I'm going to do a rain dance outside to celebrate.
Al Sharawi coming to Rome too.
Yeah, Al Sharawi passing his medical today, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm glad to have Il Farone back on the team. And yeah, for my top 4, it's kind of hard to pick. I feel like obviously Milan, we can all agree they've been a little weaker as of late, but I just feel like it's written in the stars for them, Zlatan and everything. I think Milan will win the league. I think Juve will come second. I think Inter will come third, and I think my Roma can hang on for fourth.
Yeah, I think we could all agree, Enzo and Danny, with Roma coming fourth place. I don't think they're good enough to get third or second or first this season, but in the future they'll definitely be scary. For me, I'm going to work from the bottom, so I have Roma fourth. I have Milan third. I just think even though they have a good team, they have Ibra, they brought in the Warrior, Mandzukic in too. I just don't think they have the winning mentality to actually just pull through to win the Scudetto. I think Inter, with Conte, they have a lot of pressure to win the Scudetto, but once again, they're going to choke like they always do every year. And Juventus is going to scrape through once again. Maybe it's not going to be 1 point, maybe it'll be goal difference this time, but I have confidence that we're going to scrape through the Scudetto this time.
Coach, let me just ask you this question. I know you hate Napoli, but where do you see them finishing this year?
Honestly,
I'm genuinely curious to see what you're going to say.
With the mentality that Napoli's been going through, the uphills, the downhills, especially the low blow they're going to face in the Coppa Italia final. I think maybe fifth or sixth. It all depends on Atalanta. I think if Atalanta could hold on, Atalanta will come fifth, but if Atalanta are going through those struggles like Napoli, I think Napoli is better than Atalanta.
I think if Napoli can play the way that they can, which everyone sees when they can, they're one of the best teams in Italy. I think they'll finish fifth. Yeah, if we can get some results going our way against bigger teams, I can see us pushing top 4, but as of right now, I think Napoli might finish fifth.
I'm just interested to see how Insigne turns up, because obviously we saw Koulibaly when he scored the own goal against Napoli to help Juventus win that big game. His head was down. He had a couple rough games after that, and then he really picked up this season. Now Insigne is carrying that burden after that missed penalty. So it's going to be interesting to see how
you could tell it affected him. You could tell it affected the last 2 games, but against Spezia, he looked himself. So. And especially because we changed the formation back to 4-3-3, hopefully that can boost the team and we can see that formation moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. And Amina, when you brought up Iličić, I really like how you brought him up because I think he's a great player. I think he's definitely one of the best in the league.
He's very underrated too.
Yeah,
I agree.
And he'll definitely complement Juventus and what you guys have going for you right now. Just a question for all of you. Amina, let's start off. Would you consider him world-class, or just like a good player? Because everyone kind of has that debate on Twitter, I see, but what would you consider him?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say something and then everyone I would consider him class. I don't know if he's world-class, but I consider him class.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comparison.
100%. I think he's definitely class. I think he showed it in Serie A and the Champions League. He's a class player, world class. Going too far. I agree with you, Amina. I feel like world class. We're looking obviously Ronaldo, Messi, and that upper echelon of players. But for Iličić, I'd say he's definitely class. He shows his worth in the top league and the Champions League. Dan, how about you?
Yeah, I would consider Iličić class. I was always a big fan of him. I actually really feel bad for what he went through last season, and I know that's gonna take an effect on the way he plays and stuff. But it seems like this season he's coming back to his old self, playing really good, and he's just a good player. And he's a player that I think every team in the league, he would start in every team in the league, and I think every team in the league would like to have a player like Iličić. So I'm gonna put him in the class position as well.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Dan. And I mean, I think class is really where his level is. I think someone like Papu Gomez, I think he would put him as a world-class player in Serie A, and hopefully for La Liga, hopefully he shines well at Sevilla. But I think that's where I would give the difference of Papu Gomez being world-class, and he's class because he could complement the world-class players.
Yeah, well said. And I mean, just quick before we end, I feel like it'll be rude of me not to bring this up. Obviously, McKennie from the United States obviously is on Juventus, and he's doing really well for himself. Is it just nice to see someone from where you come from playing so well?
For sure. At first, I was a little skeptical, having because I didn't want him to give us a bad name, because when it comes to football or soccer, whatever you want to call it, I feel like America's or the U.S. just looked down upon, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and so for him to perform the way he's been performing, it makes me proud, you know what I mean? And as some people might have me on Snap, I'm always just hyping him up, and so yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with his performance, and for him to be playing the way he's playing, he definitely plays like an American. You can even see it on the pitch. Yeah, so it makes me happy, and he hasn't disappointed me yet, but no, I'm very happy with him and the way he's been performing at Juventus.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when he first came to Juventus, and I saw that he was coming from Schalke. I saw that a couple of games of Schalke where he looked decent, and when he first came in, I was assuming, okay, he's gonna play off the bench. He'll get some good rotational minutes. He'll be good for squad depth. And then when I first saw him in the Juventus shirt and he played, I'm like, okay, screw that. He needs to start every game now. And he's been our best midfielder, arguably. So when he first came into Juventus, did you think, what was your first impression of him coming to Juve? Were you thinking he's going to start, he's going to be a rotational player, or were you just nervous to see how he would perform in Italy?
I actually didn't expect him to start. I honestly feel the same way you do. You did about seeing him for the first time. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't expect him to start either. Quickly before we wrap it up, now one more question, Amina. Obviously Juve plays Inter in the Coppa Italia. Are you expecting to make it to the final, or do you think Juventus might struggle, or how are you feeling about that match?
I'm feeling okay about the match. I'm feeling very nervous and not confident in my team whatsoever. I feel like they're gonna choke. I mean, sure, they played a great game against Napoli. I mean, it being a big game, I feel like their mentality is just not going to be there, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid that it's not going to go the way that I want it to.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say. Honestly.
Yeah, obviously the last time we faced Inter, it wasn't the best result. I don't like to think of that 2-0 result that Inter got, but the only reason I'm confident is there's no Lukaku. I feel like that could be a big helping hand for us, and I think
I agree.
I think if Ronaldo had a poor game against Inter, I think now this game he needs to really shut the Inter haters up and prove himself. And the Coppa Italia game, obviously you want that trophy. Ronaldo's yet to win a Coppa Italia in Italy, so maybe his mentality is gonna carry this team through these tough times because he wants that trophy for his trophy cabinet back at home.
Right.
Perfect. On that note, Amina, thank you so much for making time to come on here. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on. We were excited to have you on. Just let the listeners know where they can find you.
You guys can find me on TikTok or Instagram. My name is Amina Jakupi. It's my username for both. So yeah.
Make sure to go support her and check out all of her content. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Calcio, all that good stuff. We'll be back next week, as always, with a new episode. Thanks for listening, and ciao.
Ciao.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.